All right, let's go. We are about to dive deep into a secret history, the hidden code, the DNA that's literally inside some of the songs you love the most. Ready? Let's get into it. So, have you ever been scrolling through TikTok or maybe playing a video game and you think to yourself, hey, wait a minute, why do a lot of these songs kind of sound the same? You know that beat I'm talking about, right? The one that just makes you have to move? Well, that is definitely not a coincidence. There's a really cool reason for it. And believe it or not, the answer is hiding almost 50 years in the past. So we're going to have to basically become music detectives, follow that beat all the way back to its source, and uncover the secret. It's going to be a wild ride. Okay, Chapter 1, The Groove Machine. Our story kicks off in the mid-1960s with this powerful new force in music. Seriously, it wasn't just about melody, it was like a perfectly engineered machine built for one reason and one reason only, to make people dance. Welcome to the era of funk. So what was funk's secret weapon? Well, it was all about something called the groove. You can think of it as the song's heartbeat. It's this super catchy, repeating rhythm from the bass and the drums that just gets inside your head and does not let go. It wasn't just a part of the song, it was the song, the engine driving the whole thing forward. And this is where things get really interesting. Funk basically took the rulebook for how to make a hit song and just threw it out the window. You know how in most rock and pop music, it's all about the singer and the lead guitarist? They're the stars, right? Well, funk flipped that completely. All of a sudden, the bass player and the drummer were the main characters. They were telling the story, but not with words, with the power of the beat. Let's think of a funk band like your dream squad in a video game. First up, you got the bass and drums. These are your tanks, okay? They're laying down this massive, heavy foundation that nothing can stop. Then you have the guitar. It's not just strumming chords. It's more like a rhythmic weapon, firing off these fast, choppy notes, like it's another percussion instrument. And the horns? Bam! They're like exclamation points, jumping in with these sharp stabs of sound. Put it all together, you get a pure, non-stop dance machine. Okay, moving on. Chapter 2, The Glitter Ball Takeover. As we head into the 1970s, that raw, gritty funk machine we were just talking about, well, it started to change. It got a major upgrade. We're talking shiny new armor, a glamorous makeover, and it was getting ready to conquer the entire planet. And at the heart of this new sound was a beat that was so simple yet so powerful. It's called Four on the Floor, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The bass drum just thumps on every single beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thump, 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 thump. It's so easy to follow that it's basically the default dance emote for music. It meant that anyone, and I mean anyone, could feel the rhythm and get on the dance floor. So what was the big difference here? Well, think of it this way. If funk was a raw, experimental jam session happening in a small, sweaty club, disco was a massive, polished, glamorous party for the whole world. Producers started layering in these epic string sections and cool, futuristic synthesizers. The whole sound got smoother, bigger, and was basically made to sound amazing on huge sound systems and on the radio. And this is where a whole new kind of superstar was born. The DJ. I mean, for the first time ever, the person choosing the songs was just as famous as the bands that made them. They were like the original master playlist creators, you know? They would blend one song perfectly into the next so the party literally never, ever stopped. The goal was to keep that energy high and that dance floor packed all night long. All right, Chapter 3, Welcome to the Party. See, disco wasn't just about the music. No way. It was a whole vibe, a whole culture. It was about glamour, crazy new technology, and just pure escape. So come on, let's step inside the club. And the look was a huge part of it. The clothes were basically designed to work with the club lights. We're talking shiny satin shirts, anything that would reflect light. There were sparkling sequin dresses and glitter on everything. People wore these huge bell-bottom pants and these towering platform shoes to look taller and more dramatic. The whole point was to leave your normal life at the door and transform into a superstar for the night. And the place to be, the absolute epicenter of this whole universe, was a nightclub in New York City called Studio 54. This place was legendary. It wasn't just a club, it was the symbol of the entire era. You'd have famous movie stars dancing right next to regular people. It was just this incredible explosion of creative freedom and wild energy. The clubs themselves felt like something out of a sci-fi movie. Of course, you had the classic disco ball, that giant mirrored ball sending little spots of light everywhere. But then you had dance floors that would literally light up in sync with the music. The sound systems were so powerful you could feel the bass vibrating in your chest. Add some fog machines to make the laser lights look even sharper. It was a total sensory overload in the best way. But an energy this big, you just can't keep it contained in four walls. Oh no, the disco fever was about to break out and go absolutely everywhere. And the thing that took it truly global? The movies. All of a sudden, Hollywood was making these blockbuster films all about disco, and they had these incredible soundtracks that sold millions upon millions of copies. It showed the entire world what this lifestyle looked and sounded like, and suddenly, everyone, everywhere, wanted to learn the moves and wear the clothes. Okay, last chapter, chapter 4, the backlash and the legacy. So you know how it goes. When anything gets that huge, that fast, there's always going to be a reaction. The party was at its absolute peak, but, well, the morning after was just around the corner. And yeah, by the end of the 70s, a lot of people started to turn against it. Rock music fans especially felt like it was too commercial, too slick, just not real music. This whole disco sucks movement popped up, people wore t-shirts, and there were even events where they publicly destroyed disco records. The mainstream peak was definitely over. But here is the real secret, the biggest twist in the whole story. The beat never actually died. It just evolved. Check this out. Step 1. Funk musicians create these amazing, heavy drum patterns, or breaks. Step 2. Early hip-hop DJs realize they can take just that drum part, loop it over and over, and create a whole new beat to rap over. It was a game changer. Meanwhile, Step 3. Disco perfects the art of DJing and creates modern dance culture. So what happens in Step 4? Today's EDM and pop music takes that four-on-the-floor beat and the non-stop party vibe and builds an entire universe on top of it. See how it all connects? So here's the one thing you absolutely need to take away from all of this. That beat you hear on TikTok, in your favorite video games, at pretty much any party, its DNA, its direct ancestor, comes from the funk and disco musicians of the 1970s. They built the house that modern dance music lives in today. It's kind of crazy to think about, isn't it? The music you're listening to right now is writing its own secret history. It makes you wonder, 50 years from now, what parts of it will still be making people dance? What's its legacy going to be?